And the feed is live. Okay, so you can see the whole blackboard. That's good. This is, of course, the near side. That's the far side. And that's the chair. Okay, so it's clearer when I'm here. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karvavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham, Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam,
Shankaracharya Madhyamam,
Asmadacharya Paryantam,
Asmadacharya Paryantam,
Vande Guru Paramparam.
Vande Guru Paramparam.
Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta,
Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta,
Gocharam Tamagocharam,
Gocharam Tamagocharam,
Namah Bhagavad Padam,
Namami Bhagavad Pada,
Shankaram Loka Shankaram,
Shankaram Loka Shankaram,
Govindam Paramanandam,
Govindam Paramanandam,
Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham.
Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham.
Before we get started today, I'd like to bring us to a different meditation before we get started with our topic. As you all know, the topic that we are discussing right now is related to Adhikaritvam preparation. And for Adhikaritvam, we've looked at the first two, Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, Ihamutrartha Phal Bhoga Viraga. And what we are about to talk about is Sham Adi Shatak Sampatti, the 6 other qualities or values that one needs to have as one becomes prepared. So before we talk about Sham and Dam, let's talk, let's spend our time getting prepared, actually doing the Adhikaritvam. So what I would like for you to do is find a position for your seat that is comfortable. We all have different heights, and that's why the chairs are, they can be raised or lowered depending on what is comfortable for you. Sit with your back up straight. It's absolutely fine if you want to fold your legs, and you can keep that without getting disturbed. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out, and a deep breath in and out, and another deep breath in and out. Om. Give yourself permission to engage in this brief meditation. We have a lot of troubles, thoughts, distractions in our life. Set them aside for just a few minutes. Don't worry, they won't disappear. After this meditation ends, you won't even have to try. They will fly right back on top of your head. Om. Having given yourself permission, find a seat that is comfortable and convenient. Sit up straight, alert, with your mind focused on this meditation. Om. Draw your attention all the way to your toes. Become aware of the sensations in your toes, the feeling of warmth, coolness, the texture of the contact. Wiggle your toes and let them be relaxed. Om. Become aware of your feet and ankles, sensations, the pressure of the floor. Let your feet be relaxed. Om. Draw your attention to your ankles and calves. Become aware of the clothing, the pressure, and let it be relaxed. Om. Draw your attention to your calves and knees. Fold it gently. The sensation of clothing, and let them be relaxed. Om. Become aware of your knees and thighs, the clothing, the pressure of your arms resting gently. Let your legs be relaxed. Om. Draw your attention to the trunk of your body, to the seat, the weight pressing down, pressure, and be relaxed. Om. Become aware of your stomach, expanding with each breath, contracting as you exhale. Om. Your lower back pressing against the chair, the texture, the clothing, let it be relaxed. Om. Draw your attention to your chest, rising gently with each breath, falling as you exhale. Om. Become aware of your upper back and let it be relaxed. Draw your attention to your shoulder. Let the muscles in your shoulder and neck be relaxed. Om. Draw attention to your upper arms, forearms, resting gently. Your hands, fingers, all the way to your fingertips. Let them all be relaxed. Om. Draw your attention to your neck and your chin, your mouth, tongue, resting gently, tasting nothing. Om. Become aware of your cheekbones, your upper lips, your nose, your ears, eyes, brows, and your forehead. Let all the muscles of your face be relaxed. Oh. Become aware of the top of your head, your hair. Let it be relaxed. Om. Draw your attention to your breathing. Air going in, cold and sharp, coming out warm and moist. In, out. Become aware of your breathing body. Don't control your breath. Let your body breathe naturally. In, out. In a way, your body is breathing. and you are aware of the breathing body. You are also aware of the sensation of touch all over your body, informing you of the temperature, texture, and the pressure. In a way, your body feels, and you are aware of it. Oh. You can hear my voice, the sounds coming through your ear, appearing in your mind. In a way, your body hears and you are aware. Aware of the sounds and their meanings. Om. As you breathe in and out, you are aware of any smell. In a way, your body smells and you are aware. Om. All these perceptions of touch, taste, smell, hearing, and seeing. You are aware of them. Perceptions keep changing. You remain aware. Om. Feelings, emotions appear in your mind and go. You remain aware of them. Om. you think of your favorite room, imagine that room, the walls, the color, the objects on the wall, the furniture, all the contents of your favorite room, and how you feel about it. They are all in your mind. You have reconstructed that room in your mind. This room, made of thoughts, is in your mind, and you are aware of it. Om. All the thoughts, all your perceptions, all your emotions appear in your mind. They keep changing, and you remain aware. Unchanging awareness. For the next few minutes, let your mind be open. And as objects arise, identify them as a thought or a perception or an emotion. And let them be. Watch them come and go. Remain that simple, awareful witness. Om. If it helps, chant any mantra in your mind. In a way, your body feels and you are aware. Perceptions, thoughts, emotions come and go. You remain as a simple, awareful witness. Om. Simple, awareful witness. Om. As we complete this meditation, remember perceptions will continue when your eyes are open. Thoughts will continue after this meditation. Emotions will continue to change after this meditation. And you will persist as the simple, awareful witness. Om. When you're ready, stretch out your limbs, open your eyes, and enjoy the day. So, how does this prepare us for our discussion of Shama and Dhamma? First of all, I hope you can appreciate what we've been talking about now. Our subject matter has been Atma, our subject matter has been the self, which includes the body, the mind, the intelligence, but the one that perceives it all is really the subject matter of our discussion. The nature of that witness, that awareful, simple witness. That is the subject matter that we are studying. And what Shankaracharya points out in the Vivekchudamani is that in order to gain this knowledge, you of course need the pramana, the teacher, and then the student who has the preparation. And for that preparation, we've been talking so far. We haven't really done a meditation properly in this class. This was one of our first times. It takes a lot of time to set it up. We probably lost half the class just setting up the meditation. But feel free to use this meditation anytime you wish. If you ask me what is the name of this meditation, it is referred as witness consciousness meditation. Some people have also used the word vipassana for it because of there is nothing that is controlled in this meditation. So the mind is free and all you are doing is tagging the objects that appear without judging. You let me know if you ever come across an object that's neither a perception, nor a thought, nor an emotion. Then you will be able to always categorize it in those. And from that perspective, the unchanging, awareful witness will always be there. That is the subject matter of what we are talking about. And the Atma Vichara is about that. So last time, we talked a little bit about Vairagyam. And actually the subject matter continues with the topic of Vairagyam in verse number 22 of the Vivekchudamani, which says, Virajya Vishayavrata Virajya Vishayavrata Virajya Vishayavrata Dosha Drishtaya Muhurmuhu Dosha Drishtaya Muhurmuhu Swalakshye Niyatavastha Swalakshye Niyatavastha Manasa Shama Uchyate Manasa Shama Uchyate Dosha Drishya Vishaya Vratad Dosha Drishtaya. Drishtaya means, my contacts are working out. Dosha Drishtaya. What is dosha? So in Hindi, dosha means something else, right? Blame. But in Sanskrit, dosha does not necessarily mean blame. Here it is being referred to as limitation. Dosha Drishtaya. Understanding the limitation. Of what? Understanding the limitation Vishaya Vratar, of all the Vishayas, all the objects that appear in your mind, recognizing them for what they are. Recognizing a thought is a thought, a perception is a perception, and an emotion is an emotion. It is limited within the context of its existence. Right? Every Vishaya, every subject, every object. It's really funny, but by definition, an object is limited because its definition is based on its limitation. That's how we define an object. But somewhere along the line, we forget that that object is limited. For an object that is limited, it can only give you a limited result. But the ability to distinguish that, or to have viveka associated with dosha drishtaya vishaya vratad. That's the first part of the verse. Dosha drishtaya muhurmuhu, again and again. So as you become aware of this, you could say you become fully aware of it. Or you could say you see it everywhere. Muhurmuhu means everywhere. Wherever you turn, whatever object makes an appearance in your antahkarana, you understand that it is constrained. It is constrained by its own definition. It is constrained by its own existence. That object will be an object. Whether that object is your own breathing body, your own thinking mind, your own feeling mind, or all the senses that are bringing their perceptions to you, of which you are aware. Swalakshye niyatavastha. The niyatavastha is always remaining engaged in what? Swalakshya, whatever is its own goal. You could say whatever is its own goal, or you could say swalakshya, remaining focused on Atma Vichar. Manasaha Shama Uchyate. That is referred to as Shama. Would you say that we were right now engaged in Shama? Yeah? The ability to look at objects and understand their limitations, and remaining continuously engaged in your own goal of Atma Vichar, which is what? Understanding, seeing the simple, awareful consciousness, in whose presence all of these objects have their existence, are revealed to the mind. That awareness, continuously becoming focused on it, that is referred to as Sham. Sham Adi Shatak Sampatti. So Sham sits right there at the top because it's telling you having a focus that does not change upon self-knowledge or Atma Vichara. That is referred to as Shama. And Shama is a value. Value in the sense that we're saying, yes, we're going to dedicate time and energy towards Shama. Shama is born out of understanding. Shama is born out of effort. Or you could say that Shama is born out of understanding. There's a difference between physical effort and mental understanding, wouldn't you say? While there is some physical effort involved in mental understanding too, mental understanding is a shift in cognition. Fair enough. We had to do a little bit of work, but the real work that we were doing was a shift in cognition, seeing things for what they are. So that is referred to as Sham. Swalakshe niyatavastha. The niyatavastha is stuff all the time. But if you are aware of the limitations of objects all the time, then you will also be aware of that simple consciousness that is your own true nature. That has never changed. Since the day you were born till the day that you will die. The body, of course, will change. The sensation of touch may decay over time. Your ability to see, whether you can see objects in focus or they are blurred, right? You will be aware of the fact that the object is blurred. Whether you see it clearly or you don't, you will be aware of it. That awareness does not change. And that awareness is the subject matter of Vivekchudamani, and for the matter of the entire study of Vedanta. Okay, so that was verse number 22. Shama and Dhamma are connected. So let's take a look at Dhamma as well, because we also did Dhamma. This is verse number 23, and it says, Vishayebhyah paravartya, Vishayebhyah paravartya, Sthapanam swa golake, Sthapanam swa golake, Ubhayesham indriyanam, Ubhayesham indriyanam, Sadamah parikirtitah, Sadamah parikirtitah. Vishayebhyah paravartya, Sthapanam swa golake. What does that mean? It means Vishayebhyah, from the objects. Paravartya, turning back. or withdrawing, you could say. Sthapanam, and establishing them in their own swaswa, in their own particular, you could say, resting spots, receptacles, bringing things back and bringing them, positioning them in their homes. What are we talking about? Ubhayesham. Ubhaya means two. Ubhayesham indriyanam. Ubhaya means two. Both of these types of indriyas. What are the two types of indriyas? There is jnanendriyas and then there is karmendriyas. Jnanendriyas we've talked about before, but the senses, sensation of touch, the sensation of speech, sensation of inputs and outputs. So inputs are, so I'm going to have to use word from, but that's the way it is input and output. Jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. Jnanendriyas are the ones that bring information in. So you would be talking about eyes, ears, nose. You'll be talking about the sensation of touch and so on. And then the output is the organs of action, the ability to grasp something. So if I put a beautiful flower in front of you, you can smell it. That's one thing. And you know that it's a rose. There's a rose somewhere in the room. But the ability to grasp it, take it, or touch it, or feel it, that karmendriya, the action of the hands, the action of the legs, the action of my voice that I'm speaking, right? That's an action that I'm making. My ability to have to consume things, motor skills, consume it, and then also to digest it and then remove it from my body. My ability to procreate and continue life into this universe. All of that, sa esham indriya. So ubhayesham indriya. All of these agents of knowledge and action that are within the body, what do? Vishayebhyah parabadhya, withdrawing them from their objects. Sthapanam, and establishing them swaswa golake, in their own realms. Sa damah parikirtita, that is what is referred to as dhamma. Did we start with that? We started with that, right? We said, okay, we're going to close our eyes. We're going to sit up straight. We're going to withdraw this. Did we withdraw the sense of touch? You like say, okay, I'm going to just withdraw it all. No, you became aware of it. And as you become aware of it, you know what it is.
We don't know how to draw it anyway.
And it's really funny. We don't and we do. Have you ever had the situation where you're listening to music and somebody keeps tapping you on the shoulder and you never hear it?
Yeah.
And you'll say, wow, I just didn't hear you. I was so lost in listening to this music. All of my energies were dedicated to that one indriya. And I was so lost in it that the other ones weren't working, so to speak. Happens once in a while.
It's like involuntary.
It's not something that we necessarily control. And you can work at getting control of it. And that's fine. And what purpose would that? I mean, it would serve some purpose. In this case, they're saying not just one, all of it. Now, obviously, all of it, if you withdraw it all, it will become a lump. But in so many ways, what it's saying is that understanding swaswa golake, understanding the kshetra, the field in which they move, that is referred to as dhamma. So, control or being able to withdraw them from the object. So, I'll give you an example, and that it will help you understand it a little bit better. So, I bring you a box of laddus. Whatever is your favorite, I don't know which one is your favorite. And some of you may not even like sweets, and you may want some salty food. That's fine. Whatever it is that you want. I have the Kamadhenu cow, I brought it with me. And whatever it is that your heart's desire, I can produce it for you. Right there. And I did. And I put it in a bowl and I set it in front of you. And there's no one here. Or every one of you has their individual bowls of whatever it is that you want. Dhamma is restraining the mind. Shama is understanding that it is a limited object. Two different things, but very related to each other. Dhamma is restraining the mind in the sense that I have not yet given you permission. Have you ever been to a party where there was all kinds of awesome food laid out and then you were waiting for like one extra guest to arrive? And you're like, okay, when is that person going to get here? Because I can't cut the cake until that person gets. And maybe it was that person's birthday. It's like I can't really, but you find the ability to restrain yourself. And when you're a child, you can't, right? So maturity allows you to be able to have a certain level of restraint on your own actions. It says Dhamma is the ability to restrain your action so that it is appropriate to these respective sensors and in particular indriyas. It allows you to say, okay, can you really open your eyes and not see? That's meaningless. That can't happen. If your eyes are open, you will see. So to be saying that, no, I'm going to withdraw my eyes so that I can't really see, even if my eyes are open. We're going to say that doesn't make sense to me. But the ability to restrain your actions so that they are in keeping with dharma or appropriate to the situation that you are in, that ability is Dhamma. Dhamma does not necessarily imply understanding of the limitations of the objects. It implies a level of ability to be able to restrain yourself. And as the minutes go by, you think this person's not really coming. And this cake is melting, and it's an ice cream cake, and they have about 15 minutes to show up, before which it will become a puddle of milk and water. Don't say, okay, perhaps we should cut this cake and consume it, because this person doesn't look like they're coming. Until someone comes to me, oh, I saw that person, they're in that bus, and that bus is coming, it's a little bit late. At which point you'll say, okay, I'll ice the cake. I'll put it in ice, I'll put it in the refrigerator and wait for them. Where does that ability come from? It's not like you're working at it. It's a question of maturity. You've understood and you have the ability to be able to restrain. Now, of course, there'll be a 2-year-old in the room that will say, can I eat it? Can I just have a little bit from the bottom? They won't notice. There'll be a child who will say, okay, can I just get a piece right from the bottom? Nobody will notice what happened. It'll be quite all right. You have to tell them, no, we don't do that. So the child, the mind, I've said this before in this class, mind is very much like a child. And you need to sometimes just tell them, no, you're not going to do that. The ability to do that is Dhamma. But the ability to understand the limitations of objects and to remain sustained in Swalakshya, in Atma Vichara, that is Shama.
So can I say Shama bolsters Dhamma?
Both do. They both work hand in hand. And that's why it is Sham, Adi, Shatak, Sampati. They all 6 will work together, because the ones that are coming, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhan, they will all work together.
So in all this, like, who is in Dhamma, who is trying to control these senses? Is it intelligence, or is it like
very good question? No, absolutely, very good question, because the center part, the hero of the story and the villain of the story, and the side character and the main character, and everybody in the story is the Ahankara, the person who has identified himself as the Jiva, the one who has identified himself as Satyam, himself or herself as Satyam, and has not yet fully understood its own Mithyatva. That individual is the Jiva, that individual is the one who has a Vidya, and that individual is the one who's working towards understanding. And what are they going to understand? They're only going to understand their own Mithyatva, because Atma is present forever.
Okay, so mind is different than Ahankara, and even intelligence is also different.
So the Vedantic model, and I've drawn it before, maybe I'll draw it in the near future, right? So there is the Antakarna, which is the inner sky, or we can refer to it as the inner instrument, consists of 4 functions. They have no physical representation. They have no size, because they are inner instruments, they are subtle. Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, and Ahankara. Those are the 4 functionalities of the Antakarna. The Manas is the ability to feel. So when your eye is open and you can see, when you're aware of the sensation of touch, perceptions and emotions fall within the category of Manas. Because when you feel a certain way, I can't tell you stop feeling sad. Or if you're giggling, I can't tell you don't be happy. It doesn't work. It is meaningless to say that, because you cannot control Manas, in the sense that it is a natural. If your eyes are open, you can't not see. It does not make sense, right? It does not make sense. The Manas is the ability of the Antakarana to feel a certain way. And it is meant to be used for that, because without the Manas, there will be no joy in life to a certain extent.
Yeah, but while doing this Dhamma thing, we can block Manas.
You can block a little bit, yes. You can bring it back. Swaswa golake, you bring them back to a position of equilibrium, you could say, or you subtracted or retracted a lot of the energies going out. Sometimes, and this is just a personal experience, there is no fundamental science or anything that I'm referring to, but if you've been watching TV for a long time, switch it off and watch yourself. A lot of something seems to come back to you. It's your attention, really. Your attention was diverted towards that one sense. A lot of energy was flowing towards it, and all of a sudden it all comes back. And then it starts looking for something else to go to. So Manas, buddhi is the ability to make a proper thought, a sakara thought. The ability to discriminate, the ability to form a logical thought becomes the buddhi. It may be an incorrect thought, but it's still the buddhi. So I may say that the sun goes around the earth. Right? It's still my buddhi speaking. It may not be correct, but it is explaining the observation that it was making. Drawing an incorrect conclusion from it, but it is still the buddhi. Chitta is the repository of all your past thoughts, past emotions, your past memories, and so on, are all buried in chitta. But there's another functionality of the antahkarana, which is the ahankara, the I maker. The one, not the ahankara is not pride, not the Hindi word ahankara, but in Vedanta literature, we are talking about ahankara as the I maker. The one that stands up and says, I am. The one that is standing up and saying, I am this person. This is my body. I am hungry. I am unclear about what Atma is. I wish to understand. It's very funny because the understanding, when it comes, it will be in the buddhi, but the ahankara is the one that will say I am.
So ahankara is the one that is feeling everything.
Identify.
It's the identifier, the one who says I am. And the I maker has an important role. It is the one that stands up and says, I am Mr. So-and-so. And somehow, without us making this conclusion, the ahamkara has made the conclusion that it is Satya. It has not yet understood the nature of mithya.
So like in my case, Shubhankar is ahankara.
Yeah, the one who says.
Yeah,
the one, in fact, the person that I'm talking to right now is the jiva who's identified, and that identified jiva is making a mistake.
But then that guy is sort of different than Brahman anyway.
Yeah, it's very interesting you asked that. Are you different from, so the question of course becomes, is that person different or is that person mithya? Like remember we talked about mithya. It depends upon something. Yeah, it depends upon something else, but that something else is not different from Brahman itself. So we'll be able to turn and complete the loop. So first we do Drik Drishya Viveka. Viveka allows you to distinguish between Atma and Anatma. But eventually, when you understand Anatma and Atma, Atma will stand up and swallow Anatma as well. And it's a part of the teaching process. So it's not different. It's mithya, so to speak, and we've talked about
dependent on.
It is dependent on Satyam for its reality and existence.
It says a shaman, he said it's the ability to understand what's the area of the object, what's the value of the object. So is it like Nitya is to express the same thing?
So Shama is also Swa Lakshya. Remember, it was focus on understanding the self. So these are values that we're talking about. So Nitya Avastha, this is something where you're regularly focused on understanding Vedanta. That is Shama. And it comes along with an understanding. It is born out of an understanding of the limitations of objects.
By objects, you mean any object.
Any object.
And human is also
any
an
experience,
object.
so to speak.
Any experience. So
Any
the
experience.
presence of a human is also experience.
Yes. Understanding the limitations of what we're doing. So when we talk about that first class, we said our goal is our goal was never, we didn't start off saying we wanted to understand self-knowledge. We started off by saying we find ourselves bound by a sense of limitation, which we are trying to address. And in the process, we discovered that this is related to an ignorance about the self. And that's why we redirected ourselves to understanding of the self. So we've covered Shama and Dama, 2 verses today. We can cover Uparati and Titiksha next time, maybe Shraddha as well.
So can you just elaborate on this Swaswa?
Golaki.
So for Indians, what do you mean its respective places? For example, what is the respective place of speech? So yeah.
So it will require a little bit of interpretation. My teacher had an interesting observation. He indicated or explained to us that in so many ways, This is a pre-scientific society that we're talking about. We're talking about these verses were written in a time before, many years ago, time before science. And that doesn't matter because they had their own models that were used to explain. We're going to talk about Panchikritvam and so on. They have their own models of the universe creation and dissolution and so on. But part of those models and their understanding of the organs was that the organs actually go out and make contact with the senses and bring back the information. So that was their. So when I gave that example of the TV, if you didn't know better that the light photon particles enter your eyes and excite the optic nerve and generate the image at the back of your head, which is then interpreted by your brain, which is all I said, everything has been discovered in the past 150 years, 200 years or so, then you would think that there is energy that is going out from my eyes to the object, feeling it back. And when I cut off that object, all of that energy seems to come back to me. So Swaswa Golake is being written from that perspective, where you're saying that I'm taking all of that back and putting it back into the repository from which it came. That could be one way to understand it. That's the way my teacher explains it. That's the way Swami Dayananda explains it too.
So the effort and energy you're putting on your senses, you realize that you're putting effort and energy, and you say that that is not required because it's still Indriya. Okay.
Yeah. So they, where is it that? Swalakshe Niyatamasta Manasa Shama Ujjali. Or Dhamma is not even up there. I'll have to pull up the second page. Oh, it's on the other side.
It's Vishedhya Parav.
Can you read it out to me again?
Vishedhya Paravarta Stapanam Swaswa Golake.
Ubhayesham Indriyanam Sa Dhamma Parikirtita. Yes. So Dhamma is the ability to withdraw the sense, the organs of knowledge and action from their respective objects and placing them within oneself in a state of equilibrium, where you've got control over them. You're being able to restrain these organs and put them back within yourself, so to speak. You're not letting them run. Yeah, I think I would put it this way. This is a better example. They're not dragging you around. They are under your control. Have you ever had the experience where, yeah, this is a great experience. Have you ever had the experience where you don't know where to get dinner? This is a foreign country. This is a great example. It works here. In India, that will never happen. But here, let's say that you're a vegetarian, right? And it is at some point past 10 p.m. and you have not cooked and you don't have any groceries and you're looking around to get some dinner. And you know that Qdoba is open, they have vegetarian food, or maybe Chipotle is open, but you go there and it's closed. Okay. The Chipotle is closed, but the Qdoba is open. But now you've decided that I want to have Chipotle. I don't want to have Qdoba. And now you're in your car searching around for that next open Chipotle, right? You're getting dragged around by your senses because you've decided that, no, I don't want that. I specifically want this. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely fine, unless your entire life consists of being dragged around by your senses looking for the next experience. And what Ishwara is saying is that if you're not practicing Dhamma, you do not have the preparation to study Vedanta yet. Because you must have the ability to withdraw your energy and your senses and be able to have some level of control over them. So that, Shankaracharya in this case is saying that you have the ability to withdraw them, keep them under your control so that you can remain focused on your goal, which is Shama. Understanding that the bean burrito from Chipotle is just as limited as the bean burrito from Qdoba would have told you, there's no need for me to drive around for several minutes looking for it. It's a simple example, and I'm sure that it's full of all kinds of mistakes, but it made the point of what it is that I was talking about, that you don't let your indriyas drag you around all the time. Once in a while, it's absolutely fine.
Isn't this in general even told about other things also, like when people say that? For general professional things or whatever you're trying to do.
Sure. The values are valuable everywhere. So the values of Shama, the values of Dhamma, as you will see, Samadhana, Uparati, Titiksha, it's a simple value. It just says you have the ability to endure without necessarily making a big deal out of it. The ability to endure without complaining for a long time or incessantly complaining about something. It applies to just about everything in life. So the good thing about values is that they are valuable everywhere, whether you're talking about spiritual life or you're talking about your normal life. Although there shouldn't be two words, because there are not two lives that you're living. If you're living two lives, you've got to talk about that. You shouldn't be living two lives. There shouldn't be a Ram or Shyam. Although both are Ram and Shyam, so they're fine. They're okay. But there shouldn't be two different. You head to
every task.
Values will apply to everything in life. Atma Vichara, on the other hand, is a very specific thing. Okay, so we can do our Shanti part and stop here for today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.